let's get the show on the road. There you are. I got the app for it, which is actually pretty easy. When you get it, you get access to like kickboxing, MMA, professional wrestling, and probably a few martial art movies.
Fite TV is a website streaming service for all kinds of fighting and wrestling.
You can get access to news, on-demand stuff, and live events.
How did you hear about it, and what do you like about it?
I was drawn to it because of this new company called AEW, which is partners with ITV4, partners with Fite TV in America.
So Fite TV is an American company, partnership with ITV, and that's how you found out about it in the UK.
Yes. Sadly, I forgot WWE.
But then they have their own network. They don't really need to share themselves around, do they?
Exactly.
Boxing, wrestling, MMA, and entertainment, which covers all sorts of different things.
Which is like pretty much like every independent wrestling promotion out there.
So everything other than WWE is on Fite TV.
Exactly.
Very cool. That's a really good resource for people to know about, Ryan, because they can compare this with WWE and see which is the better deal. On the website, I can see it says 10,000 hours of free videos. So is it free, Ryan, or do you have to pay a subscription?
I think their weekly shows are like for free, but for everything else, like the big pay-per-views and martial art movies and all that, you had to pay for them.
So there is a lot of free stuff to get you on the website, but then you can pay extra for special events, pay-per-views. I mean, pay-per-view, it's in the name, isn't it? You have to pay to see that one live, I suppose.
The only big ones I recommend, AEW, the NWA.
Okay, AEW, All Elite Wrestling, is one that you've mentioned to us before. It's mixing it all up. It might be staged, some of it might be real fighting with... I mean, MMA is very dangerous. They choke people out, don't they? Obviously, with boxing, there's no kicking allowed, you know, but with MMA, you can do anything. So with so much material on this website, Ryan, do you find that you just stick to the three that you listed, or do you explore other things?
The one we're looking here is November 22nd from last year. Mike Tyson versus Ron Jones Jr.
How old is Mike Tyson now?
Gotta be like in the late 50s now. Sometimes they can show just local wrestling shows.
Looking at the Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., it says official pay-per-view replay, and it's $23.99.
This will probably be a wonderful treat for wrestling fans and sports fans as well. But sadly, it doesn't have football, rugby, or anything like that.
It's called Fight, so it's about physical contact sport.
The only show that I purchased, AEW Double or Nothing, which is the very first 5-star pay-per-view from Las Vegas. This brand new company with their first pay-per-view back in 2019. Fite TV's been around since the last decade.
So you like AEW and NWA.
They got their weekly show, which was originally on YouTube, but since COVID happened last year, they had to stop it, all owned by Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins.
I was going to say, I remember the name. I couldn't think where I knew him from. So he's the front man of Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes. And now he's got his own wrestling event.
I love it. I mean, probably that was always an interest of his, but they've managed to keep a lot of services, a lot of wrestling matches going during the pandemic, or was there a big stop?
Definitely from like the NWA, yes. They showed to stop, including their show NWA Power. Go back to old school of wrestling being recorded in an actual studio instead of a big sold-out building.
You would get a sense of its more humble days, how it was before it went really mega big bucks.
Exactly. And sadly, you get no Ric Flair, no Arn Anderson, no Danny Blanchard, no Four Horsemen, and no Matter TA, all those people, they start from scratch with today's stars. Nick Holbridge, which you probably know from the remake of Gladiators, and it made a transition from Gladiators to already NWA World Champion.
Oh, cool. So a bit like Edge, we were talking in our Royal Rumble about how you can be an actor, but you can stay a wrestler and you can do both.
Yeah, like The Rock.
Yeah, he's the standout example, though he doesn't wrestle much anymore, you were saying. He did a couple of events with WWE, but mostly he's conquering Hollywood, as you said.
Yeah, definitely. With his show, Young Rock.
I watched a Gladiators style program that The Rock was producing. I think it was called
Something tight.
Titans, that's right. Yeah, which is all about promoting him, really. Obviously, he's got enough money to pay for the whole thing, but he likes to present it and he likes to talk a lot about himself. And you're like, get off the stage, Dwayne. I want to see the other people.
Oh, yeah, I think some of, not all of them, but some of them probably wrestlers.
Yeah.
Well, ex-wrestlers.
Yeah. And they can all do each other favors now because they're under the thumb of Vince McMahon. So they can all kind of run their own show and help each other out.
Yeah, pretty much.
So does someone own Fite TV? Is there a Vince McMahon type character?
Oh, yeah, but probably they're just run by like a group of unknown investors.
All right. So it's more like a faceless corporation. It's not like one guy's gimmick. Okay.
Yes. Except for Winner Honors that's been around since 2002.
Wow. Okay. So it has that much history. That's good.
Yeah. And also TNA.
Yes, which you've mentioned. I haven't seen these, but you've mentioned that one before. So this one, a bit like Disney buying up the rights to lots of stuff. Fite TV have been buying the rights to a lot of these smaller companies.
Yes. Or they might agree to be partners themselves.
Yeah, especially in these times when you can't physically get to the matches. If you can have one subscription that gives you access to all of this, that's great.
Yeah.
If you paid the $24 to watch Mike Tyson, for instance, can you rewatch that as many times as you like, or would you have to pay again to watch it a second time?
When you actually pay for those big pay-per-views, you will own them.
You can share this with people if you wanted to. If you're paying for it, you can
yeah.
at least invite friends round when you're allowed to, and they can watch it with you.
Exactly. AEW got their separate service as well, called AEW Plus. You get Winner Honor with Honor Club.
That's their version of premium subscription. You become part of the Honor Club.
You can sign up for Fite TV or Honor Club or AEW Plus. AEW has been in the driver's seat in the last few years, signing a lot of big names, like they got the blooming Big Show on it. But he just used his real name. The Big Show. He's using Paul White, his real name.
There's one called Lockdown, March 27th, Lockdown 2, which we had fun about. I mean, we were talking about that last year, a wrestling event called Lockdown.
Oh, yeah, that was in TNA.
Oh, so March 27th has happened now. Go on.
Which is every match is in a steel cage.
This one actually says BKB, Ryan. It might be a different one.
I think that's a separate thing.
They're just using the name. The main one was TNA.
Yes, I think they've gone through like a lot of repackaging and relaunching over the years. Now it's just called Impact Wrestling.
The AEW Revolution 2021 pay-per-view.
Oh.
This one was March the 8th, and it's only $20. So that's a one-off event, was it?
The thing is what they're doing, other than WWE, instead of planning out the entire year with pay-per-views for 12 months, instead they like taking their options down. Don't have them every month. Take their moments and like plan out their schedule a bit more.
Unlike football, which is very routine, this is more like special events.
Sometimes they got like special events on their main weekly show, Dynamite.
So that is a weekly thing, and you can get that from Fite TV as well, can you?
Yeah, the main show, Dynamite, yes. Or you could just watch them on ITV Hub as well. AEW Dynamite every Friday night on ITV4.
If you wanted to watch everything on Fite TV, it's probably not possible because there's 10,000 hours of free content.
It's going to come down to which ones you really want to watch the most. If you say, I like AEW instead of all the other things I see on this site, there you go. You can start watching it.
Do people feel like they need to watch everything because they're paying for it? Do you know what the general subscription cost is every month?
I think the same amount as the WWE Network. AEW Double or Nothing, which has featured some of the brightest stars of today, and it's got a few veterans in it as well, like Chris Jericho, Cody Rhodes, or Dustin Rhodes from WWE. But they're like, so you WWE, we are done with this, so we're going to start our own promotion, just to stick it to them.
Yeah, as we were saying, Vince McMahon was a bit of a taskmaster, and a bit like Disney, people like to break away from the main thing and do their own thing, have a bit more freedom.
Some of them are brand new, and some of them are superstars of the game.
I love that you can follow them on Twitter as well, directly from this website. So if you want to know what your wrestler is talking about, what their politics are, you can follow them on Twitter.
Yeah, and probably good. All different sorts of wrestlers, like Japanese wrestlers, Mexican wrestlers. They focus more on the tag team division because it's owned by the Khan family, owns the American football team. Sadly, you don't get every championships on the line here because it's their first big show, which is set in Las Vegas, Nevada.
You can watch the first 10 minutes for free, or you can order it now to enjoy the full show. How long is Double or Nothing 2019?
3 hours. They got their kickoff show, same as the WWE or football. It's called the buy-in, as in you want to buy in to watch the event. Because every wrestling means a halftime show to get the people excited. Like the WWE got the kickoff show, football got their kickoff shows.
It's an all entertainment package. It's not the one thing, it's what big money can buy you.
Their buy-in show is available on YouTube on 3 different YouTube channels. Their official AEW channel, TNT, The Breezy Report, is their weekly TV show called AEW Dynamite, similar like WCW Nitro.
I see where they're going with that.
Airs in America on a Wednesday night, but here on ITV4, they air a new episode on a Friday night.
And do they feature a different wrestler every week, or do they have a lineup?
New ones every week, but the main feature ones do show up week to week. Albeit they are unable to put certain wrestlers on the show because they probably had to be checked every week. Got other things on here like their Comic-Con Starcast Q&A, like ask them questions and just take pictures with their favourite wrestlers like Rob Van Dam, Matt and T.A., Tony Schiavone, Eric Bischoff, good old JR. And Sting is a part of it now.
Yeah, I saw that he was on AEW, one of the newer events.
Yes, 60 years old and still looking good.
With the face makeup, he can hide the wrinkles.
Yeah, but I think it's only used for special occasions.
So Stephen Borden, debut 1985, and he was born 1959.
Yes, and 62 years old.
It's like a top trumps as well. You can compare all of their height, weight, and their debut. So see how much experience they have.
And on their buy-in, the Casino Battle Royal.
So that's a good grounding in Fite TV.
I get it. It's on the Fite TV app, which is available on app stores or on the internet.
Yeah, so I might use a web browser on my larger screen. Ryan prefers to use his phone and the app.
I will say the only flaw I see is it'll probably be a pain for everyone had to pay for their big pay-per-views to buy them all the time.
Yeah, so we were looking at some of the prices. So $20 to $25. it's not a huge amount to pay for a 3-hour sporting event.
No, but you'll probably be paying for pretty much everyone else. If you're only like reasoning to buy their pay-per-views,
Whether you want to get a subscription as well, do you mean?
to consider what other stuff you are preparing to buy for yourself on there. So it's not like WWE, the way it's advertised, very like cartoony in a way. With this one, it's like war, like real promoting like wrestling events
This one's a bit more serious, maybe.
on the sports aspect.
Boxing, MMA, and then there's another section called entertainment, the Gamer Hour, Mind of the Meanie podcast.
I think it's the part of their ownership as well. Host our own podcast on here on Fite TV.
So it's not all events.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I could follow a lot of their arse wrestling podcasts on YouTube, like Eric Bischoff, Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, Bruce Pritchard. Just recently, Kurt Angle.
There's Neil Young, Return to Greendale. So they have music events, they have podcasts, they have almost like sitcom TV shows. And a lot of it is free, caters to lots of different tastes. But Ryan's main thing is AEW, ROH.
Which is focused on the pure wrestling side, the NWA.
Cool. All right, Ryan, have a good weekend.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.